Welcome to Voice of the People. And we're going to get right into it. We're going to continue our conversation about relationships between male and females. But before we get started, I want to remind everybody that we are having our fourth component of our seminar. It's called Credit. Well, the subject is credit. It's from our financial pillars at ONV. This will be on October 21st. We're going to have it down on Rudisill at the summit. It starts at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be about credit. You can pre-register at 260-348-5785 or at info@Our Neutral Voices. These seminars have been good, so we want to continue to go. And we learned a lot over the last couple of them. There was one on budgeting. It was one on banking. So I've been to two. This will be my third one. How many have you been to, Jill?
It's one. This will be my third.
How many you been to, Dr. V?
Two. I was thinking you had been to.
Not all of them, but I missed one.
Okay, yeah. So two for me, and this will be my third.
Yeah. So I think we're all on the third. Yeah. So we just look for the people, and everything we do is to help pull our community together and upbuild our community. So please come out and support.
You had said something about pre-registering. Can we just talk about why that's important?
Yes, because we have a limited. We have a allotted amount of seats, but if we want more seats, we need to know if you're pre-registered so we can accommodate everybody.
Right, and it's free.
It's free.
Event?
It's free. And last time they had pizza, so I don't know what they might have this time. I know we had snacks one time, so just come out and enjoy yourself, get some knowledge, and maybe a little snack here and there.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to continue our conversation. Why are you looking at me like that? I ain't even started. You already smirking at me. But we're going to continue our conversation.
Because I got something I really want to say, but go ahead.
We're going to continue our conversation about the male and female relationship. And I'm going to let you go, E. But I want to say this first of all, because we're talking about this, and a lot of times we did have fun last night. We did have some friction last night. But what we were trying to get everybody to understand is if we're trying to build our community, we have to start at home. Too many times we want external factors to fix internal problems, and that's not going to happen. So we need to go down to the nuts and bolts of everything and then figure out how we don't get along or why we don't get along, and then we can build our community. We want to teach our children how to communicate well, because if a child grows up in a household with bad communication, it doesn't even have to be married, but they can see their parents at odds at all times. If they see bad communication, it's going to follow them, and then their relationships are going to be bad, and that's going to be a trickle-down effect. So we're just trying to break it down and figure out how we can start rebuilding our community, and we got to start at home. That's where you have to start, at home. You're right.
Isn't that something? Start on the inside.
Start on the inside.
So it can look good on the outside.
Not only look good.
I was going to say, and be good. That's what I said, and be good.
Well, yeah, I'm like you, Clarence. Sometimes just because it don't look good on the outside don't mean it's a good function on the inside.
Right.
So you have to understand, the outside appearance don't mean nothing.
Right.
And that's that, and people fail to realize that. Outside appearance really don't mean a whole bunch of nothing, because what's internal, that's what really actually going on. I can make it look like I got a big body Benz, but and all that, actually under the hood of that big body Benz is a Pinto engine.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Absolutely, but I just want to clarify. I don't know. I just want to make sure that what I'm saying is not actually mistaken.
I knew.
Misconstrued. I want to make sure that this is processed. What I'm saying, when you say that starting in the house, I'm saying the training in your upbringing that happens on the inside should be exemplified and demonstrated outside in the community in the way you treat each other. Not necessarily from a beautification, which I definitely agree with that. But I wanted to make sure my position was understood.
Yeah, and E's position was true too, because too many times we go along to get along, and we try to dress it up, and it's not functioning. I mean, and I'm talking about in our whole community, but we have to start at home.
Yes.
And think about it. We as parents, be it a union or just co-parenting or however you want to call it, we give these examples to children, and they take it on to the outside. So if you and I or whoever your mate are, if y'all not communicating on the inside or not working together on the inside, what is that teaching your children on the inside to function on the outside?
Well, and when you say when you two were talking about how things look, it makes me think of anytime I see that, like where something looks perfect or a relationship looks perfect or everybody has to tell the world about their, like
What they got going
Jada,
on.
inviting everybody. So anytime I see where somebody is making everything look so perfect, it tells me that they're probably overcompensating for what's real. Yeah, exactly. So, and when you're doing that, that says that you care more about the people around you than the people within your own four walls. So I look at that as overcompensating, as trying to keep up with
The Joneses.
And just putting it all out there. Social media, like I know everything about strangers' relationships. I don't even know them. All over the place.
Right.
Well, I mean, to invite somebody into your household, into your main inner circle,
Yeah.
to me, that's letting me know that you're insecure, first and foremost. Because who I date or who I'm dealing with is nobody's business. That's my personal business.
Yep.
So other than anything outside of that, if you're not in my inner circle, you will never know who I'm dating,
Right.
or who I'm married to, because that's personal, that's sacred. So if I'm keeping that sacred, that means I'm protecting it. And nowadays a lot of people, you can't tell nobody who you dating. No, it's nobody's business who I'm dating. If they see us out together, they see us out together.
And that's a good point, and I want to talk about that because that's one of the things we didn't get to, and I think Doc V had it on the list: the protection or the sanctity of your relationship.
Yes.
And everybody brings that up. Why are we so quick to bring other people into our relationship? And for the 80s and the 90s, everybody listened to Oprah about how to keep a man. And when was the last time Oprah really had a man? You know what I'm saying? But she'll tell you.
Oprah spoiled it for a lot of people.
But you know what I'm saying? But we listen to these people.
Wait, don't let Oprah have a man?
What's his name?
Stedman stay in the guest house. Let's go.
I'm just saying,
Stedman stay in the
you can't
guest
bust
house.
Oprah out like that. Oprah has a man.
I'm
No,
sorry,
she
Doc.
don't.
Yeah, I forgot that you are a great
Stedman,
Oprah fan.
that stays in the guest house.
She's had
No
him
matter
for-
where he
in the
stay,
back of the guest
when
house?
you need the brother, she know where to go.
You know something? That's a bunch of monarchy.
But let's talk about this. Like how many people in relationship listen to single friends about about their
Yes.
relationship? I mean,
Yes.
men and women. I mean,
something, Clarence, is
Yes.
one thing. What I know now, when you get in an argument with your significant other, we too busy facing away from each other when we get in an argument, instead of facing each other with that argument, because we telling this person,
Right.
person, and the people you telling is gonna always. You're gonna tell the people that's gonna
gonna be
have
on
your
your
back.
side.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course,
And versus
of course.
the conversation you have with that person outside is the conversation you need to have with the person that you with,
Right.
and then vice versa. So you have to understand, especially when I learned this: single men are bitter, just like single women.
yes.
What'd you say?
There's many. Yes.
There's
Bitter?
bitter. There's a lot of men out here that are single, are bitter, are mad,
Right.
and they're jealous of your relationship. So they're gonna give you some bad advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, you need to leave that alone. What I tell you about falling in love? First and foremost, just because you don't want to be in love, just because you don't want nobody to love you, just because you don't want nobody to care for you, don't mean I don't.
Right.
I mean, just because I got 30 million females around me,
Wow.
Right. Don't mean it.
don't mean not one of them care about me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just realistic.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you saying too that a married man should not be taking the advice of a single man, because
A married
he's
man,
gonna be
a married
trying to
man
pull
should
him
not.
out of there.
Should not. I mean, honestly, if I were to do it again, if I were to get married again, and this is the honest God truth, I would find an older couple that has been married for 30 plus years.
I feel you.
And sit down and have that conversation with them. And and honestly, marriage counseling that you have to go through in churches or whatever ain't worth nothing. You can't tell me nothing that you've been married 20 years, okay, but that person that been married 40, 50 years could give me a secret that don't nobody know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put it like this. I was at work one day at TGFM Mobile.
right.
Nice plug.
Shameless plug.
But it is what it is. And I had this couple that come in every month. They've been married for 50 years. Sit down and talk to them. And I asked the man, how did y'all do it? Know what he said? Some days I love her, some days I hate her.
Yep.
And I looked at him like, huh? And he said, Mom. And this is this is how they address each other, Mom and Dad. He's like, Mom, tell them how we did. She's like, some days I hate him, some days I love him. It's a balance.
It's a balance.
Yep.
Once you learn the balance, everything will run smooth.
Yeah, but and that's the thing, and you have to learn from other people. But too many times, like I say, we go to the wrong sources, and we let too many people, everybody in our ear, from our parents, our mother, our mothers, our fathers, sisters, brothers, cousins, best friends. They're in our ear, and they don't know what's best for your relationship, but they're giving you all the advice that
So who should advise? I'm saying, so there are people having problems, having issues. They need to talk to someone. So when you say all these other people, what would you suggest at that point?
I'm with E. I'd find a trusted source. I would find somebody.
He just said the church.
No, I didn't say the church.
No. He said the church was not the answer.
Well, no, that's not his opinion.
But
that's my
right.
opinion.
And I was just going to say, and that was his opinion. But what do you, as far as who would you reach out to? Because you are married and you've been married for a minute here.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Don't let me get on that
That's
one.
really hard.
Is that hard?
No, I'm going to tell you, because I've known people that, their marriages have just, been days. I mean, seriously. I know somebody that's been married 3 times. So it's really hard. But I do find people that, even some divorced people. I can talk to some divorced people because they'll tell you what not to do.
My point is that.
You know what I'm saying?
But
what road not to take.
Right, but and because we aim to help people, in our own individual way, right? Even though we're not, professionals, so to speak, in that particular arena, but we have been through some things,
right?
And so we all have a story. We have our opinions, and so I'm saying, how would you speak to them? They need to talk to somebody. Like, do they have a 1-800 number? You know what I'm saying?
I wish it was that simple.
Yes,
They have that for a lot of other things that people may be going through.
But see, one of the biggest things that I learned, when you are in a marriage, you need to surround yourself around strong people. Because a lot of times we surround ourselves around our friends. And being married is a whole nother contract from being in a relationship, from dating, from being in a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. That contract is something. It
takes another level.
It takes. Another level is an understatement, because now you have to understand this is a part of me.
Right.
We're not just here. We here. We're one.
Right.
So now, at the end of the day, me personally, if someone came to me and asked me about how to stay married, I would tell you all the things I did wrong in mine.
Yeah.
And say, this is what I did wrong.
Yeah.
So now we have to flip it on the other side. So I did this, and this. Don't do this, and this, because that's going to ruin your marriage.
Right.
You need to go the whole nother way. Right. And one of my favorite movies, Love Jones, and the part of
I haven't seen that in years.
Love it. My man said, it's easy to fall in love. Can somebody please tell me how to stay there?
Yeah.
And that's the key thing about it. Figuring out how to stay in love and in a position where this is my wife, screw everything else.
Right.
It's just real talk.
That's real talk. But and we're gonna move on. But the internet, like Jill said, the internet, we welcome strangers. We'll post our problems on Facebook and go through the comments and try to figure out what's this and that. We'll invite strangers so there's no sanctity in relationships, which leaves it open. You open it up, then everything can come in and to change your opinion or destroy what you're trying to build.
Yeah, and we talked about respect last night and how that is super high on the list no matter what kind of ship you're in. And when I think about, like what you just said with social media, for example, when you are a woman like me.
Are you a woman?
When you have, last time I checked, I guess I could choose, but I would still stick with being a woman. So anyways, I was real careful when I was younger, and even now, with telling my mother things, because that's my mom, and you don't want them to, because people argue, couples argue. My parents, E was talking, my parents have been married for 50 years. So when you put that stuff out there, if I get upset with you and we are married and you are typing, he is such a, and it happens all the time. You see it. You see it. So not only does your mother, father, everybody, but strangers know. And it humiliates your partner, and it should humiliate you, because there's thousands of people.
Yeah. And they got all kinds of bad advice for you.
Yeah, it's weird to me to put that out
And the
there.
worst part is when you decide that you want to go back to that person, you just messed up, because now your whole family hates. Wait, they hating him, but they looking at you like you must be
stupid.
Yeah, you must be crazy. All the stuff you said.
Like I said, it's crazy you say that because it's true. But once again, if you surround yourself
with the right,
that's the key thing.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself. If you don't protect your marriage, who will?
Right. And and not only that, but and I don't think we hit on this yesterday either, but the complexity or the term of relationships have changed. That because, and Jill said you can make a choice. Now let's really talk about this. It's gonna ruffle some feathers, but let's be open. Let's be honest. Now there are complexities of relationships where you can be in a relationship with anybody you want to, any way you want to. And it's hard for me to understand, and you love who you love, I can't change the difference, but it's hard for me to understand when you're trying to build a family or a relationship, and the relationship has changed where Jill said it, you can choose to be what you are. And you can choose to live your life how you want to live your life. You can marry who you want to. This is the world we're in. But how am I going to be? Say I'm a man and woman relationship when you're not in that natural state of a relationship.
I want to make sure I understand you 100% clear.
Yeah,
clarify.
Okay, let's talk
because it sounds like you just trying to beat around the mulberry and be sweet and gentle, too gentle.
Yeah,
let's keep it straight up.
Keep it straight. All right, there are now transgender. There's like females that are born and lived a gender. By term, they term them cis women, which means that's the gender you were born with, and you
talk to me like a 2-year-old, please.
I'm giving you the definition.
Cisgendered, so like.
Talk to me like a 2-year-old. Stop just.
Can I give you what?
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Talk to me like a 2-year-old.
So you got two men and a man. One is a man and one now is a woman.
But was a man. They're in a relationship,
and we're going to look at this as we're talking about communication, and. You're not going to be able. Two men are going to see things the same way that they're going to say it. I don't care how you feel it. I don't care how you think about it. But two men are going to see the same thing the same way. They're going to think the same way because they're two men. So that relationship, I'm not going to say it's going to fail, but it's going to be harder and difficult, in my opinion, that it's going to work because.
So I get it. So what you're saying is, how is that going to work when really they're both in the mind, naturally, they're two men.
Right.
So how will they? I get it. That seems like that's a lot to deal with.
Yes, and I'm
kind of like I said. I know, but I got another. Okay.
And let me. It's not to hurt anybody's feelings. We're talking about rebuilding our community, and we're talking about relationships starting at home, and there's some natural things. They're natural things, and people might not think they're natural, but there's some natural things that go on between men and women that are natural relationships. And I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about communication. I'm talking about, emotions. I'm talking about the natural connection that's between a man and a woman.
A balance.
A balance.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a balance.
Okay.
So if you don't have that balance, how can that, and I get you, how can that work without a balance?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic about it.
And it's not being judgmental. It's a actual question. And I'm saying from my point of view.
Well, and it's factual that, you said at the beginning, you're not judging, because we don't. And like you said, love is hard enough to find as it is in anybody. So if you find somebody you love and it's not something that I believe in, fine. But it doesn't change the fact that as we talk about family dynamics,
Right.
family structure, it changes that. It changes the natural order of it. And also, so if you throw children, let's say, into,
Dr. V over here cringing.
into the mix.
Why am I cringing? Tell it.
I don't know why
What
you
is it?
cringing.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I want you to say why you cringing.
You think I'm cringing?
No, you are.
No.
Your face
I'm not
balling up.
cringing.
Your
I'm not
face
cringing.
balling
I'm
up
just
and
thinking
doing all kinds of stuff.
No, I'm thinking that sounds like that could be like a whole nother show. Like,
well, I mean, it can, but just open
you
up.
asked me a question. So I'm saying it seems like that is so much because now we only got like 6 minutes, and it seemed like that's going.
Why are you trying to? My question is, why are you trying to cut us off?
I'm getting ready to.
About a deep conversation. Go ahead.
I'm getting ready to. So at the end of that, if we had to make a long story short,
Right.
what is it that we want to get out about that particular thing?
Oh my God.
That it changes.
I think
my
we
goodness.
That it
here-
changes. So
That it changes as far as having children.
No.
no, like the family
the
structure.
Right,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the mom,
dynamic.
the dad, the
right,
kids.
Right. And the natural, and I'm going to say natural because a man was meant for a woman and a woman was meant for a man. So I'm going
Right.
to talk about the natural, and that's the only thing I'm talking about. It's going to be offensive, but it's a truth. Sometimes the truth offends. But
The truth hurts.
what I'm saying is, it's hard enough for me to communicate with a woman that I'm in a relationship, the natural woman. But then if I'm in a relationship with another man that is now a woman, that doesn't change his thoughts. That doesn't change his points of view.
Yeah.
We're going to argue. Everybody's going to argue. Everybody's going to disagree. But I'm saying the natural order of things is just off. There's not a complete balance.
Well, and a lot of times we talk about like, why doesn't this work? Why doesn't that work? So we always go back to, well, not always, but a lot of the times we go back to traditional values. So, it worked here because of XYZ.
Right.
So now, even when we talk about like prayer in school, things of how they used to be and how it worked, and now it doesn't work, there has to be reasons why it doesn't work.
Correct.
And changing the dynamics and structure of the family. We're not saying that, you're some type of way, but factually it changes the dynamics of what was once traditional, which I think is why things are different.
And that goes back to what I was saying, Dr. V, and I'm going to ease it, and we're going to leave this. But here's what I'm saying. We want to rebuild. We want to restructure. We got to go back to the nuts and bolts and figure out which screw got the wrong bolt on it, which nut got the wrong, we got to get down to what is the brass tacks and what is. And these are all problems that are plaguing every community, every life structure, because we're not sitting down talking about the hard things that affect things.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. So I was thinking that we were going to go like kind of back into the relationships between.
But it is part of that.
Wait. The relationships between a male and a female. That's how come I'm kind of like a little stuck because I thought we were gonna just a little bit go back into that, and so I understand totally what y'all talking about, but I wanted to get down to the nitty gritty of what's the problem between a male and a female, because we have too much infidelity and too much of all of that with the marriages, with dating, etc., lack of respect, all of the things we talked about last night that was important in a relationship, the trust, all of that, independence, you name it. So all I wanted to hear from some of the men.
Okay, what you
what?
Because, he was. I mean, if you was listening, he was.
No, he was talking about.
If you was listening, he was.
About homosexual, transgender.
At the end of the day, he was.
Not male and female. He said two men.
Okay, but if you
for
get out
a second, can I just get my question out that I'm trying to ask?
I mean, you jumped.
Can I get my question out?
He was talking about it.
I was patiently waiting. My question is, why do people cheat, lie, and cause the destruction of the family that we're trying to I'm going to say blame, but we're trying to focus on other reasons why the family is broken. I'm talking about the male and female. Why, when they are together, what's wrong? And I'm saying that so that we can help someone.
Right. You want to know why people?
I want to help because we are saying male and female.
Male and female. Either way, why do men cheat? Because they cheat. Why do women cheat? Because they cheat.
No.
It's just that simple.
It's not.
Opportunity.
No.
Exactly.
Hold on.
No, if we're
Clarence.
You can blame
whatever you want to say. If it's a space and opportunity
and for a man or a woman
to do what they're going to do.
You can say it's your emotions. You can say it's your feelings. You can say it's whatever, man or woman.
Can I give you a high five from the distance?
So what you're saying right now, NutriVoices, men, is that you don't want to go beneath the surface.
It's no beneath the surface.
I'm beneath the surface.
I mean, it's real. It's reality.
Okay, come on here. Now y'all gonna let me. Y'all gonna make me go there, right?
We'll go there.
Okay, so listen. Now I have too many married men chasing me.
Same.
And all I'm saying is there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There is a problem. There is an issue that needs to be put on the table. What is not going on at home, or that is going on at home, that causes men to do this? And I know you're
women do the same
both
thing.
of you guys, listen, I'm
Women
not
do the
talking
same
about
thing.
them. I'm asking the question. So I haven't been dating a woman. I'm talking
you wanna know.
about.
Goodness.
I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Hold on. She says she haven't been dating a woman, so
I'm
you've been dating a
talking
married man?
I've been dating a man. I've been married to a man that has cheated, and he was married to me. So all I'm saying is people.
You cheated
do
on him
this.
too, am I correct?
People do.
Have you
this.
cheated?
me?
You haven't.
No.
You've been married. Have you cheated?
And wait a minute. This
Him.
is not that. So this is the point I'm trying to get across. If we are here to bring awareness and to help people and to enlighten somebody that might be going through something, who think that they at home, they're doing something wrong or they're not stepping up,
Okay.
that's not always the case. So what is
go
the
ahead.
I'll let the
problem?
audience speak, but I
What
got to
is
answer
it?
too.
So, man, it's always, from a man perspective, something, not just something's missing. Because even sometimes a man can just make a decision to do something stupid
Right.
and still love his woman. So, when a woman asks that question and then asks a man, are you cheating? Then, woman, are you cheating? It just goes tit for tat.
My point is that.
But
So-
the audience is speaking, and can they hear the?
Can I
question? Yes,
I'm gonna reiterate
yes.
it. What the audience said is that sometimes the man can just make a stupid mistake and cheat on his woman and love her, and I think that's vice versa for women too. A woman can love her husband and cheat on that one, but it's a mistake, and we all are prone to mistakes. That's true. But I want to answer a question that you asked, Doc V. And you say why. And truthfully, it is space and opportunity, but you want to get to the depth of it. Sometimes it's that
Stupidity.
in a relationship, because I hit on it. It's about feelings. So sometimes you're in a relationship and you don't feel adequate. And I'm not saying you. I'm saying a woman.
I know.
You
I
don't
got
feel
you.
adequate about something. I didn't tell you. I noticed your hair was done, but I didn't come out and say, "Oh, you got your hair done. Oh, it looks nice." I didn't tell you that. But that cat that's sitting next to you at your job is saying, "Oh, your hair looks nice."
Clarence, no, I'm finna break it down because it's reality. You never cheated on your wife, have you?
No.
Okay, I'm a man that cheated on my wife.
Okay.
And it's simple. Stupidity. It's just that simple. I'm not finna sit here and sugarcoat it and try to cover it up and try to do all this. It was stupidity. Got everything at home. Stupidity. Time, place, and opportunity. It's just that simple. There's no underneath, no other this, that, and other. It's just real stupidity.
I like that.
So there's
Okay, so
Thank you.
all this going around,
Stupidity.
the motor.
Stupidity is a reason, but
It's stupidity.
But I got
because
some more to-
because the thing about it is, guess what? Anything I could catch out in the streets, I had it at the crib.
Right.
Regardless of what.
Exactly.
I got it at the crib. Regardless, if I wanted her to put on an orange wig and I had it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's not the point that, oh, well, she's not. No, it's stupidity because, if you turn around and look at your wife and say, this is how I'm feeling of what's going on in the household, guess what? It would change.
Right.
Point blank, period. Nothing else need to be said. Stupidity. End of
I
discussion.
let the women speak from a female perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So As far as like why women
cheat.
Okay, so I have not cheated. I've been with some very, very good men. But with that being said, I also think that for women, and I can't speak for men, it is more of, I think sometimes it's sex. I mean, sometimes it just is. Other times it is attention, emotional. So a lot of women, I feel like, enter a extramarital affair because that man is paying attention to her.
You said
That's what I just
think.
said.
He's
I
showing.
wish we had a woman that actually would sit back and admit, "Hey, I cheated and I did X, Y, Z."
But I didn't, because
I understand
yeah.
that, but I'm just saying from a reality standpoint, just like me, from a reality standpoint, to understand the mindset.
Yeah. And
because to understand the mindset is to understand what's going on.
Right.
Point blank.
I have some good friends, actually, a couple at least. So, when people say women don't cheat, they do. You just don't hear about it as much.
Exactly.
And like what we were saying with married men reaching out all the time. Married women reach out all the time too, but men don't really speak on it like women do.
So
women
my question
are on a different emotional level.
I would ask anybody. I would ask this: if you know a man is married and you still dealt with him, why would you do it?
Mm-hmm. Right. I think a lot of times she doesn't know at first, but I would never enter into anything.
I'm gonna tell you like this: any female I mess with on the side of my marriage knew I was married.
Yeah. Yes.
It's the first thing I say, I'm married. I ain't leaving home.
And a lot of people are cool with
so
that.
what you gonna do? You either gonna shoot or dribble.
So last night I mentioned Tinder, which is a dating site,
Right.
and I said that there was a lot of people. So right, so that was that stat. But then there's 47%. I'm coming to it. So it said 47% in the United States of the people that's cheating on Tinder are married or in a serious relationship. So just me looking at that, it made me, and that's why I wanted to get to that subject, because I feel like there must be a lot of people unhappy in their marriages at home. So I wanted to know, what is it, right? So I would say for me, and this is not a personal story, but I would say research, family, people you hear about in the salon, people you've worked with domestic violence, different situations. There's a lot of people that may go astray, male or female, because they are being abused at home. They feel neglected, overlooked, things like that, not valued at all. Those things may happen, but then also there's the people where they're in a relationship where the other person is not sexual, they don't want to be touched, they're not affectionate, and as we talked about the different oxytocin and different things as far as the chemistry and what people need, that touch, that feel, that affection, when that person doesn't have that, it's missing. Even the Bible speaks about certain things when, if there's an adulterer, or if this person refuses, or as they say, they put the clamp on certain things, they lock it down. We're not doing that. Women get upset in the relationship, arguing, and you can't have none for 3-4 days or 2 weeks or whatever it is. Those type of silly, I'll say, behaviors in a relationship can cause people to go astray.
Yeah, the game,
male and female. So that's what I feel, and growing too comfortable with each other, and some people may say we've been together for so long, and now you're bored,
right?
And so, like E mentioned, a wig. Some people need to put some spunk into their relationships, and so I'm just saying. So for some of the people that may be chasing after, I'll just say myself, I think that's what it is. I think that the wife has gotten to the place where they're just comfortable being who they are, doing what they do, maybe just the fluffies, flannels, etc. They need to spice it up a little bit and make him fall in love again, and make be more sexually attractive, or whatever it takes.
Like you did in the beginning.
Like you did. So as they say, whatever you did to get that person, that's what you need to do to keep them. So I'm just saying, because of our position, we need to help our community.
And I'm going to agree with all that you say, but I'm going to tell you this. It's simple like this. I could drive a Bentley, but if a nice Cadillac pull up beside me, I'm gonna look at that Cadillac.
You can look.
And I might get to and if it rides good, if I see it riding down the street and it's just shining and everything, I might get to the point, if I keep seeing it, can I drive that? It's only because there's space and opportunity, and that's
Yeah.
where
Well,
it is. And that's
exactly.
Ed broke it down. Stupidity. We can put all these other layers on it, and you gave an eloquent and a very concise and truthful thing. But we can put all these other things on it. But when you break it down, it's who we are. It's what we do. We are stupid, and we do stupid things, and we do things that are not right. But all in all, it's just the accountability for that person. It could be whoever. It could be whatever. It does not take anything for anybody to be dishonest or do anything outside.
Exactly.
It doesn't take. It just takes that person.
That's why his answer was so beautiful, because it was real.
Because the simple fact, everything you just laid out, Dr. V, guess how you can be fixed? Strictly communication.
Talking.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got one more from the audience before we get out of here.
Absolutely.
The stimulation, man, this issue is no different than any other issue in any relationship.
Correct.
You will make bad choices. You will do things that you really shouldn't do.
Correct.
I don't care if it's from a cheating level to a lack of communication, a small lie, a white lie, green lie. It's human nature is in us. Everybody is capable of.
Right.
Yep.
Circumstances will catch
Yep.
you up.
I agree. I agree.
Everybody that say no, they're in denial to themselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to get out of here. And it says it's just our human nature and what we do. And I always say this. I will never say what I won't do because I never know what the
What's gonna
temptation
happen. There
is going
you
to
go.
take me over. Because as soon as you say you won't do it, that's when that temptation is going to come. So I can say what I don't see myself doing, but I'm never going to say what I won't do because you don't never know what that temptation is. And it's just who we are. But we were talking about the relationship, and this was good information. Everything that's said hopefully will help people. But we got to stop expecting, an outside source to come and fix an internal problem. If we want, we got to go back to what, the root of things. Go back to basics. If our community is messed up, if our community is failing, what does our families in that community look like? How's it structured? How's it working? How's it functioning? That's what we want to know. Get all the problems out of the way. Go back, because if we can talk as male and female, because we gotta populate beyond. So if we can get ourselves together, guess what comes after when we got ourselves together?
Right.
Our kids.
Right.
Everything else is together.
Right.
Amen.
It was a good conversation.
That was a good
That's
conversation.
a great point of view. And E, why you been smirking at me? We're gonna talk off camera. But E,
I wanted to get at you so
we
bad.
we gave some people some good information. We talked about good things. But what do we tell our people before we leave them?
Always protect your mind.